Ladies and gentlemen, lots of questions have been answered, but there are still more questions to be answered. Monday Night Raw on Netflix was incredible. This felt like I was watching a pay-per-view on a Monday night, and I wasn't the only one that was watching. The entire world was watching. There were some big moments from top to bottom. The middle was okay, but it was about the stories that are potentially being told right when the show went off the air. There were even some celebrities that were in the show tonight. But we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on what we saw tonight. The show started off with The Rock. The Rock is always a great time to see The Rock. Whether he's a heel or a face, it doesn't matter. It always feels great to see The Rock. He says, before we get this show on the road, I want to acknowledge a couple of people. And this guy is funny. He wanted to troll these guys and said, if The Rock finds out that he was glitched, he's going to go on full Squid Game on their asses. Oh my God, that was so funny. Okay, enough of the funny business. The Rock also acknowledged Cody Rhodes, who has kept WWE behind his back. He's carried the company ever since he came back. There, you see Cody Rhodes. He was in the crowd. He had no wrestling match or anything. He was just there sitting in the crowd enjoying himself and saying, okay, that's fine. And then I kind of got confused about this because didn't The Rock kick Cody's ass? And didn't he say last year on the Raw after WrestleMania that he was coming for him? He said it himself when he held Cody's WWE Championship. But it's The Rock. Come on. He can change his mind. If he wants to do the match, then he's going to do the match. If he doesn't want to do the match, then he doesn't want to do the match. I don't know. I had that suspicion that The Rock was being too nice. And he also talks about the tribal combat match between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. He says he acknowledges Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. And he said he was going to be watching that match very carefully. And then Rock, obviously, it's The Rock. He ends it with, if you smell... And then the crowd is just, they know exactly what he's going to say next. What The Rock is cooking. And then he continued, what The Rock is cooking. So that was the end of the promo. So then Rock actually walks over to Cody Rhodes and gives him a hug. But while Rock was giving Cody a hug, it looked like he was whispering something to Cody's ear. What is it? I don't know. The Rock is The Rock. He keeps his secrets to himself. So now we move on to the first match of the show. Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa in a tribal combat match. This match is for the Uafala and the title of becoming the real tribal chief. Before we get into the match, I actually want to give my praise to this ring mat. Yes, I'm praising it. Shut up. This was shown on SmackDown last Friday when I believe they were like testing out these new mats and seeing how it looks. And the new mat, it looks great. Black, you got the sponsorships on there. You got Cricket, Riyadh Season, Netflix, Snickers, Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer, and the most important part to me, Fortnite. Now the question that I had was, are they going to do more WWE skins in Fortnite? Well, I'm going to talk about that on my Fortnite channel. Subscribe there if you haven't already. Now back to this. I'm actually going to go towards the end of the tribal combat match. After the confrontation with the new bloodline and the OG bloodline, Roman Reigns was setting up for a spear to Solo Sikoa. But as Roman was going for a spear, Kevin Owens, out of nowhere, gives Roman Reigns a stunner. And then he told Solo, pin him, pin him. As Solo was going to go for the pin, Roman Reigns kicks out. Then Kevin Owens proceeds to beat down Roman Reigns, and he was going to give Roman Reigns a package pile driver, but thank goodness Cody Rhodes came in for the save. Cody Rhodes connects the Cody Cutter, Kevin Owens rolls out of the ring, and then Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens are still fighting outside. They head to the crowd, and they still fought. So then we get to the end. Solo tries to go for the spike. Roman Reigns counters, spears Solo. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns beats Solo and can now be known as the true tribal chief. All of a sudden, this caught me off guard. The Rock comes out. And Paul Heyman, who had the Uafala, he was going to present it to Roman Reigns. but Rock actually wanted to do it himself. He presents the Eufaula, puts it around Roman Reigns' neck, and then he congratulates him on beating Solo. Now look, we've been wanting this match for years. When will we ever see it? I don't know. We might never see it at all. But in terms, you never say never. So now we move on to an empty wrestling ring. We see all the sponsorships, the white ropes, everything about it looks great. I'm kidding, guys, it's John Cena. But let's put the jokes aside, as this is John Cena's final year as a WWE superstar. So John Cena comes out, big pop for John Cena. So obviously, John Cena thanks Netflix for the experience of Monday Night Raw. So John Cena talks about who he's going to face at WrestleMania. So he names the superstars that he could potentially wrestle at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, loud boos. CM Punk, loud cheers. Logan Paul, loud boos. Gunther, there actually was some cheers for Gunther. Cody Rhodes, super loud cheers, as that is the rumored WrestleMania match. And when does John Cena become a record-breaking 17-time world champion? He says, I gotta be honest. But before he said anything else, the crowd chanted, you deserve it. He said that he will never become a 17-time world champion. But then he said that there's a term that says, never say never. The only time we say never is never give up. And then he says, I'm not just going to the Royal Rumble, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, declaring himself his entry into the men's Royal Rumble match. Will John Cena be able to win the Royal Rumble match for a third time? Only time will tell. John Cena is going to be in his final Royal Rumble match, and it's going to be crazy. So now we move on to the Women's World Championship match, and that was Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. Now this match was actually supposed to be a last woman standing match, but they decided to change it up. And knowing that this is a Judgment Day match, you know that the Judgment Day was going to get involved. But it wasn't the entire Judgment Day, as it was only Raquel Rodriguez and Dominic Mysterio. So knowing me, I go towards the end of the match. Dominic Mysterio was distracting the referee, which by the way, those new ref shirts look cool. They look basic, but cool. So back to this. Dominic Mysterio slides the championship belt inside the ring to distract the ref. On the other side, Raquel Rodriguez slides a chair in and tries to get involved against Rhea Ripley. Ripley fights her off. Liv Morgan uses the chair to her advantage to connect the Oblivion. 1, 2, no. Kick out. Liv Morgan tried to do another Oblivion, but Rhea Ripley countered it into a Riptide. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley is the new Women's World Champion. So after the match, Dominic Mysterio gets in the ring, and then this guy, he wants to get back with Rhea Ripley. Like, he apologized, and he wanted to hug Rhea Ripley. So Rhea Ripley actually accepted the hug, but instead of giving Dominic a hug, she actually gave Dominic Mysterio a low blow. And now, I can finally say that this feud between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley is finally over. Now, what does this mean for Rhea Ripley? What does she do at WrestleMania? Of course, do you guys remember when Rhea Ripley and Io Sky were having that stare down? They were both holding the Women's World Championship. Does that tell you that they're going to have that WrestleMania match? But we're going to talk about that once we get closer to WrestleMania. So then, this was actually really cool. Rhea Ripley was celebrating, she was on the stage, and then a gong hits as The Undertaker makes his return as the American Badass and rides his motorcycle around and celebrates with Rhea Ripley. So then we move on to the next match on the card, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. And I'm going to be honest, guys, this was not good. Before we get into the match, this was a great moment. We had this guy, Travis Scott, smoking on Monday Night Raw. And then we also have Travis Scott yeeting along with Jey Uso as he makes his big, grand entrance. And like I said, the match between Jey versus Drew, it was not good. All I can remember is that Drew McIntyre was trying to go for a Claymore, a freaking Jey Uso goes for a crucifix pin, and then he gets the 1-2-3. And when I say they did Jey Uso dirty, they did Jey Uso dirty. Because after the victory, they just went straight into a video package of Gunther. They just went on about it like the match never meant anything. Jey Uso deserves better than that. And then, unfortunately, we were joined by Hulk Hogan. And I'm gonna tell you this. Who freaking cares? 17,000 people at that dome were freaking booing the absolute hell out of Hulk Hogan. Nobody at the Intuit Dome wanted to see him there. I didn't want to see him there. Even the people online didn't want to see him there. Of course, he was there to promote WWE now moving to Netflix with Monday Night Raw. And now he's also here to promote his freaking beer. Do you know why people were booing him? You should know why. But I'll give credit to Hulk Hogan. He does have a great theme song. I don't like him, but he does have a great theme song. But enough talk about Hulk Hogan. Let's move on to the main event of the show. The big main event is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. We were going to get this match last year at WrestleMania, but CM Punk unfortunately got injured. I'm so glad that we finally got this match. So who was the heel and who was the babyface? Seth Rollins was playing as the heel, and CM Punk is being played as the babyface. So this was actually crazy here. Seth Rollins actually goes for CM Punk's finisher, the GTS. And then, later on in the match, CM Punk does Seth Rollins' finishing move, the curb stomp, which unfortunately he didn't get all of it. But now let's fast forward to the end of the match. Seth Rollins and CM Punk are both on the top rope. Seth Rollins hits a superplex, but then CM Punk counters it and connects Seth Rollins with a GTS. Seth has no idea where he's at. He bounces off the ropes and then he gets back on CM Punk. So CM Punk connects another GTS. 1, 2, 3, and CM Punk has beaten Seth Rollins. What an incredible story that CM Punk and Seth Rollins told. And I enjoyed every second of it, which led to here. What's next for CM Punk? Well, he said it himself. Gunther, I'm coming for you. Cody, I'm coming for you. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble match. As CM Punk declares himself to be in the Royal Rumble match. And guys, that is how Monday Night Raw on Netflix went off the air. I heard people say that they were underwhelmed with this show, but it's a season premiere and people are here to have fun. Okay? I know some people wanted stories, but let's just have some fun. The stories will come next week. And next week looks pretty good too. But what do you guys think? Did you like the Netflix premiere of Monday Night Raw? Or did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Tap the notification bell for more videos. Follow me on Twitter at EthanSoyShow. And I'll see you on the next one.